Good day everyone, I'm Hurley Borafy Reviews here, back at it again with my review for the KB-Ear Cepheus, or the KB-Ear Cepheus KB16, I believe. Yeah, the KB16. Okay, but before we proceed, I'd like to thank Keep Hi-Fi for sending this unit to me in an exchange for a very honest and transparent review. Rest assured that all of my reviews are honest and transparent to the core, like I always do, for the benefit of everybody, of course, including me, since again and again, I won't be editing this extensively. Recording videos or video reviews isn't really my forte. I prefer writing reviews. And at the same time, English isn't really my native language. This isn't my primary language, so please bear with me if there are any grammatical errors down the line. Okay? Okay. So, first things first, to give you an idea, the KB-Ear Cepheus, we'll call this Cepheus throughout this video, although it is a Cepheus KB16. The KB-Ear Cepheus costs around $250 by the time that I record this video. So that is roughly around 12,000 pesos-ish in Philippine peso. So, the KB-Ear Cepheus is in a 2DD and 6BA hybrid. This is a hybrid IEM in terms of driver configuration. So there's that. Okay. Let's proceed now to the box. It's been a while since KB-Ear really reached out to me to review their products, and I am glad that they are reaching out. It is an honor to be noticed by the companies that I have looked upon ever since I was a newbie. So yeah, it is still mind-boggling to me. So there's that. Okay, so here's the box. The box is your usual KB-Ear as far as I remember. I have encountered before my dream IEM of theirs, the KB-Ear Aurora, which I haven't reviewed unfortunately, but that is one of my I would say one of my favorite sets from them. I have just loaned that for a while and auditioned it personally. So compared to those, the KB-Ear Cepheus KB16 in terms of the boxes, I'd say nothing special. I'd say it is not also the most minimalist in terms of the box, since I have seen the box of the KB-Ear Aurora and I really love that minimalistic design. So yeah, the KB-Ear Cepheus KB16 comes with this box. As you can see, it comes in two colorways as well, the violet as you can see in this box, and at the same time the color blue, which what they have sent to me. So as you can see, that's the box. And as you can see, it is in 2 dynamic driver and 6 balanced armature. Down back here are the specifications. As you can see, it is in 14 ohms and in 102 decibels in terms of sensitivity. So yes, rest assured that the KB-Ear Cepheus KB16 isn't really hard to drive. So you won't be needing any balance cable on this one, in my opinion. Okay, and based on my experience, of course. So yeah, the box is basically like that. It is minimalist in terms of what you'll see, but at the same time the visual design isn't really minimalist. But I have no problems or qualms with the box. Maybe some people that are very nitpicky about the box will probably have some nitpicks here and there, but to me it isn't really a problem. It presented the IEM really well, in my opinion. Okay, now as for the accessories, here is the accessories of the KB-Ear KB16 or the Cepheus that it comes with, and in my opinion this is quite underwhelming for a $250-ish set. Why? I have literally reviewed and seen IEMs that are lower in this price point that has or have better inclusions. Probably not in quantity, but most likely in quality. But on the surface, the inclusions and the accessories here in the KB-Ear Cepheus is quite adequate. It's just that it isn't that competitive, in my opinion, based on the IEMs that I have reviewed, under $300. But hey, yes, one can argue that it gets the job done, that's for sure. So you'll get these ear tips. Yes, it has 3 sets of ear tips, as you can see. It has this white ones, it has this black ones, it also has these yeah, the black ones, and yep. Yeah. Do take note that probably there are some slight variation or slight error in the product that they have sent to me, or this unit that they have sent to me, because from what I know, the third set should be the gray version of the ear tips with the red stem on it. So yeah, it could be a manufacturing error, but it isn't really a big deal to me, since the stock ear tips here in the KBR Cepheus fits fine into my ears. I had no problems with it. We'll discuss that later. And here's the what do you call this, the case that it comes with. In my opinion, this is quite underwhelming for this case is quite underwhelming for its retail price of 265 or 250 US dollars, since I have seen this in other IEMs that are literally around $80 or $100 that has this case. So KBR should improve if they want to be remembered for this asking price on their inclusions or accessories, since again there are sets that have better case and that are also cheaper compared to these. But I do believe that there are people that will argue that the KBR Cepheus KB16 what do you call this, prioritizes more the sound quality or the nitty gritty bits compared to the inclusions or something like that, which I understand and I will discuss also later on. So here is the cable itself. In my opinion, personally, I have no problems with these, but at the same time, again and again, they could have done better in terms of the quality that you'll be getting for this asking price. Remember that this is a $265 IEM, and again, I have seen and reviewed IEMs that are literally lower in this price point that has better cable. That doesn't mean that the cable is bad in terms of its job or its purpose. I mean, it gets the job done, but at the same time, they could have done better. Like my even the KB Ear Aurora, which I really adored when I was still when it was still pandemic, actually has better cable than this one, and it is also cheaper. So I don't know, for me, I have no problems, but at the same time, I have heard and seen some people that said that they could have done better with the cable. Yeah, it really depends on you. It really depends on your preference. Okay, if I were to suggest or nitpick, they could have included a cable that corresponds or that fits well with the color of the version of the KBR Cepheus itself, since I have seen that they have a cable that has the same color like of this one. I believe it's the KBR ST6 or the ST12. I kind of forgot. I'll just flash a picture here in this moment, I guess, but there's that. And it is in 3.5mm connection. So yeah, okay, we'll discuss the drivability later on. And here are the IEMs itself. Okay, as for the IEMs itself, I'd say that this is very gorgeous. It is visually pleasing in my opinion. It has the blue faceplate with a it is quite seamless actually. Yep, it is seamless with a transparent, with a transparent mold here, as you can see. And as you can see, the drivers are also see-through, so you can literally see the drivers here on the KBR KB16. And yes, in my opinion, it is visually pleasing. Yes, if I were to nitpick, I don't think that I'll be nitpicking this one, but I have heard a friend of mine said that if he was to nitpick, they could have done this with a resin with an inner mold, but I guess we'll have it with have. But functionality wise, visually pleasing, or aesthetic wise, I have no problems with this. I actually like this design. Yeah, actually like this design because it is minimal, but at the same time, I do know for a fact that it will fit my ears well, which is what really matters to me the most, aside from the sound quality. Okay, okay. Now, as for the drivability, as what I have said slash told earlier, this is IEM is easy to drive. In my opinion, for good measure, you can like pair this with a 2 VRMs dongle and you're good to go. But at the same time, it will run well or it will run fine with the cell phone, with the smartphone, or directly connected to a computer or a laptop. But in my opinion, in this hobby, you kind of need a USB dock. In all of the IEMs that you use. Even on this one, there is a noticeable difference in the base quality when you pair the KB Ears FAUs with a decent DAC. At least 2 VRMs. There are cheap 2 VRMs dongles in this hobby as of today. Like for example, the Venture Electronics Devastator, some J Kali IEMs, some nice HCK IEMs, nice HCK dongles, J Kali dongles. There are a lot of dongles under $20 that will pair well with this KBR FAUs. If you can find a warm sounding dongle or a neutral sounding dongle, by all means pair this with a KBR FAUs because they really pair well with that. Okay. Now, as for the fit, comfort, and isolation, again, I had no problems pairing this with my ear. This fits really flush and snug to my ears, which I really like. It is very light as well. Up to the point that I felt like I'm wearing nothing. I'm wearing nothing throughout my observation period with this KBR's FAUs KB16. I have used this in literally any scenario that I can think of, like running through errands, doing chores, doing my day job, eating at a Swedish restaurant in IKEA. Yeah, I have literally done everything that I can with the KBR's FAUs KB16. I even reviewed some parts of the KBR's FAUs KB16 on the Swedish restaurant of IKEA, and I had no problems with it because the isolation is really good on this one. The isolation, the fit, and the comfort is really good in my ears. For those people that are that has a very small set of ears, you won't also have any problem with the KBR's FAUs. It will fit your ears really well because it doesn't go deep that much into the ear, but at the same time, it isn't really shallow in terms of fit. So it is just within the ballpark. To some people, it may fit commonly, if there's a term for that. So that is a good thing because I am confident I am very confident that this will fit most people. Okay, most people's ears to be specific. Now, what is the sound of the KB Ears FAUs? If you have seen the advertisements or the posts that the KB Ear and the Keep Hi-Fi posts about the KB Ears FAUs, you'll see that they marketed this as a U-shaped sounding set. Based on the graphs that I have seen on the internet, although I don't usually read graphs, I do know how to read graphs, but I don't usually read graphs because what matters to me more personally is how I hear things. So there's that. I was hesitant that time because it seems on the graphs it looks like it is a V-shaped sounding set. But I am happy to report to you that throughout my observation period, the KB Ears FAUs sounded U-shaped to my ears. It is U-shaped with the forward vocals, which is a good thing. It's right up in my alley. There are even times that the KB Ears FAUs sounded neutral, borderline bright to my ears on certain setups, which concludes my skepticism that this will sound as a V-shaped set. So it never sounded like a V-shaped set, far from it actually, which is a good thing. Okay. Now for the bass on this one, it is quite light. It is sub-bass dominant, but at the same time, I won't call it a bass headset. Far from it actually. This isn't really the highlight of the KB Ears FAUs. But that doesn't mean that it is bad. It is far from bad. Because the details on this one for under sub $300 based on the IEMs that I have heard is actually on the above average side of things. It is very clean, it is well layered, it is textured, it is detailed. So I have no problems about it. But do take note that I am not a bass head. So, even though if I'm a bass head, if I were to think that the 16-year-old me will see this IEM again, probably he will not like this because of the bass quantity. Because this doesn't have the bass quantity that a bass headset offers. But the quality of the bass on this one is really good. It is clean. It never sounded what do you call this? It never sounded lacking on any genres that I throw at it. Ba- do take note that all of my genres are a mix and match of old and new artists, new albums, um, old tracks. So I can confidently say that these FAUs never lacked any bass response in terms of quantity. But of course, if you're a bass head, this may sound lacking to you in terms of bass. Okay, so please do take a note of that. Okay, now as for the mids on this one is it is mildly recessed, but at the same time it is clean. It never sounded too drowned or boxy up to the point that there is an off sounding on this one. In fact, I love the placement of the mids of these FAUs. It never sounded too forward, but at the same time, it never sounded drowned to my ears. It is almost clean actually. It doesn't exhibit any mid-bass bleed in my opinion. But at the same time, it also affects the lower mids. So the lower mids do not get that extra thickness that most warm-ish or balanced-ish sounding sets have. But at the same time, again, it is clean. So if you're a fan of clean mids, well, this FAUs is definitely one of the best that exist under $300 by the time that I record this video. Lower mids on this one, it still has some thickness to it, but it doesn't have the additional thickness that some people might prefer. It also doesn't have that warmth that some people might prefer as well. So please do take a note of that. They will definitely find this too clean and probably too dry for them. Depends on the preference, of course. Now, as for the upper mids on this one is it is forward, especially the vocals. Vocals are forward on this one, which I really like. I do love when the vocals are really present on a track. And the KB Ears FAUs really delivers that. I enjoyed my time in genuine manner. Genuinely, I enjoyed the KB Ears FAUs, the vocals on the KB Ears FAUs. It is well done, it is well tuned, but at the same time, it never sounded sibilant. It never sounded too much. It never sounded that it is prone to sibilance, harshness or peaks at all. It is a well tuned set. There are only a few sets that has this kind of that exhibit this kind of character under $300, and the KBR Cepheus is definitely one of them. It manages to be safe in sound, but at the same time it doesn't sound really rolled off or dark or lacking in extension at all, which leads to me recommending this for those people who prefer vocals. If you really prefer vocals like me, if you really prefer that forward soothing vocals, that airy vocals, but at the same time it doesn't get too intimate or anything like that, well, the KBR Cepheus might be my top recommendation for it by the time that I record this video, of course. Okay. Now, as for the treble is still well extended. It still has some air. It still has that characteristic that the upper mids have, but at the same time, it isn't as forward in my opinion when compared to the upper mids. But don't get me wrong, it is far from being dark. It is far from being lacking. No, not at all. It's when compared to the upper mids on this one, it's just that the treble on the Cepheus is a little bit what do you call this? A little bit less present. Probably because the upper mids on the Cepheus is much more forward in presence when compared to the treble. So that's why I perceived it that way. So there's that. Okay. Cymbal crashes and splashes are quite satisfying to my ears. It never sounded too overboard or anything like that. Detail retrieval on this one is above average in my opinion, and thus render nuances or any micro details really well. Yes, it is definitely one of the above average in terms of that regard, but I have heard an excellent set on detail retrieval for this one. So yeah, I would call this an above average. Again, it isn't bad, not at all. If that IEM is in terms of detail retrieval is S plus, well, this FAUs on detail retrieval is definitely an S or an A plus. Okay, okay. Now, as for the technical chops, the whole tonality or the whole tuning of the CFUs also affected greatly the technical chops. If I were to nitpick first things first, if I were to nitpick, the KBR CFUs doesn't have the widest stage or the wide stage that I have heard from an IEM within 150 US dollars to 200 US dollars or 300 US dollars. It doesn't have the widest that I have heard. So, yeah, if you're a fan of wide soundstage, if you're a fan of your out of head soundstage or headspace, the KBR FAUs may not deliver that for you. But at the same time, it doesn't sound cramped or narrow in my opinion. It is still like your usual wide. But at the same time, I have heard wider sets than this one. So there's that. The CFUs, however, makes up for it on its soundstage height. The soundstage on this one is quite tall. It is quite tall, and at the same time, it has a good depth to it. So it is still at the same time it is still spacious. Okay, it doesn't really it's just that again I have heard wider sets than these. It isn't really a bad thing. I personally love the soundstage of the CFUs. Okay, now as for the separation and layering, it is clean. It is definitely clean. It is one of the excellent sets that I have encountered under 300 US dollar in terms of the separation and layering. It can handle busy tracks really well. I have no problems with that. Okay, now as for the imaging on this one is precise, as it should be, because again this is like $265 or $250 by the time that I record this video. So it will definitely perform well in terms of imaging. You can also use this when you're playing games and you'll have no problems with it. Okay, so where should we compare the KBR FAUs KB16? Okay, the KBR FAUs KB16 can be compared with the following. Like for example, the HiDi Mark 12 Tourist, which I have reviewed recently. When compared to that, it is noticeable that the KBR FAUs is cleaner. It is cleaner. It is a bit it is less thick in terms of the overall sound. It is also snappier in terms of the transients and decay. The attack and decay in this one is quite faster when compared to the HiDi Mark 12 Tourist. The HiDi Mark 12 Tourist, however, makes up for it by having its sound stage very expansive. It is very grandeur. It is definitely wider and more immersive than the KBR FAUs. The HiDi Mark 12 Tourist is definitely on the warmer side of things and will definitely need a beefier source to shine, while the KBR FAUs isn't really needing any beefy or powerful source for it to perform in its optimal state. So it really depends on what you prefer. If you prefer that soundstage, that grandeur soundstage, well then by all means the HiDi Mark 12 Tourist is definitely one of the largest and definitely one of the most expansive sounding sets in today's market. But if you prefer a clean U-shape forward vocals, yes, the vocals on the CFUs is a bit more forward when compared to the Tourist, then the CFUs is for you. Okay, now where should we compare this next? I would compare this next to the Ear Acoustic Audio SPA High and Ultra. When compared to the SPA High and Ultra, the SPA High and Ultra aimed for a more classic V-shaped sounding set. It is noticeably a bit peaky on the upper frequencies, particularly on the upper mids, when compared to the CFUs. The CFUs sounded smoother. Yes, apparently the CFUs sounded smoother, cleaner, and closer to neutral compared to the Ear Acoustic Audio SPA High and Ultra. But that is to be expected because the SPA High and Ultra is tuned to be a fun sounding set. Okay, technical chops, I'd say that the CFUs is better, definitely better on the separation and layering, also in imaging actually. It's just that they share the same soundstage height, but not the soundstage width. The soundstage width is a bit wider but not much on the SPA high-end Ultra. Okay? Now, where should we compare this? We should compare this with a Kiwi Ear Septet. But RFI, you may ask, isn't it too, what do you call this? Isn't it too overkill that you'll compare this with a quad bred? Well, yes, it is quite overkill, but at the same time, do take note that they nearly share the same price tag. So, in a practical sense, of course, you will be picking your IEM based on your budget first. Next is probably your preferences and such. Okay, so it is justifiable that I compare this with this to the Kiwi Ear Septet. Compared to the Kiwi Ear Septet, the Kiwi Ear Septet is definitely leaning more on the technical precision. It is really definitely incisive. It is incisive. It is very unforgiving on poorly recorded tracks. It is definitely a dream. Yes, it is definitely a surgeon's dream to my ears. But at the same time, it lacks the tonality, it lacks the tuning, the pleasant tuning that the Cepheius have. Since the Septet focuses more on technical chops. Personally, it isn't really a problem to me because I like technical sets. I have been saying that throughout my preferences or throughout my hobby. I like details. I like technical chops. I like nuances. So, the Septet will be the more favorable set to my ears. But at the same time, it doesn't have that lushness. It doesn't have that what do you call this? It doesn't have that smoothness, that vibes to it, if I'm making sense, which is on the Cepheius. So on a normal day, of course, I would be picking the Cepheius if I'm running down on errands, casually listening to music, doing my work job, because the sound of this one literally sits in the background in a very good way. It isn't that disturbing or distracting to my ears, as opposed to the Kiwi Ear Septet where it is open back. It definitely needs a bigger source or a powerful source to shine, and at the same time, the technical chops on that one are in front of you when you are listening to the septet. So I can't use that for too long on my work if I were to be locked in or focused on my work compared to the Cepheius. So it really depends on what you prefer. Okay? If you prefer technical chops, of course, by all means, get the septet. But if you prefer the, what do you call this, the forward vocals, just some easygoing stuff, probably the Cepheius will be the better choice. Okay? So, I'll switch now to the Tagalog version of this video. Okay? So, itong si KB Ear Cepheius is nasa 12,000 pesos. Give or take. Probably, mas magmura pa siya during sale. So, do keep an eye on that. Hybrid siya, 2DD6BA, so 8 plus 8, 16, kaya KB16 yung tawag sa kanya. Dalawa rin yung colorways niya, may blue and may violet. If pinapili ako ng Keep Hi-Fi nung sinend nila sa akin to, I'd pick the violet, kasi mas madali siya hanapan ng cable as opposed to the blue. Okay? Yung accessories niya, in my opinion, it is serviceable, but at the same time medyo underwhelming siya kasi itong mga accessories na to, even the cable actually, is nakita ko na sa mas murang set. Mas okay sana kung halimbawa nag 2-core twisted cable na lang sila dito, and dito probably nag liquid silicone ear tips na lang sila, and itong cable mas okay sana kung hard case para sa akin, or yung matinong case sana na angkop sa presyo nito. Again, we're speaking in a 12,000 pesos manner. Okay? Para sa akin, they could have done better doon. Pero, that doesn't mean na hindi mo magagamit ng maayos tong Cepheius ng ganito. Nagamit ko siya ng ganito, all stock lahat nung ni-review ko. And wala naman ako naging problema. Sa drivability, wala kang magiging problem dito. But at the same time, nire-require ko to na at least 2 VRMs, yung USB dock na gagamitin mo dito. Kahit man lang sana Venture Electronics Devastator, for example. Kasi, yung Devastator, kahit saang IEM, magagamit mo yun ng maayos. Wala kang magiging problem doon. Pero yun nga, madali lang siya madrive. So, wag ka na mag-abala na maghanap pa ng 4.4 connection para dito kung on a budget ka. Pero kung may budget ka naman para sa cable na gusto mo, di gamitin mo as long as na 2-pin. Okay? Sa fit, comfort, and isolation, wala kang magiging problem dito kahit maliit yung tenga mo. Madali lang siya isuot. May times, sobrang gaan niya na hindi ko alam na may suot pala akong IEM. Goods yun, para sa akin. Okay? Now, as for the sound, yung tunog niya U-shape. Forward yung vocals. Malinis yung tunog niya eh. May time nga nagtutunog neutral bright pa to. So, yung sub bass niya mas angat kaysa sa mid bass pero hindi siya bass headset. Hindi siya bassy. Okay, pero nandun yung bass. Hindi naman kulang para sa akin. Pero syempre hindi kasi ako bass head. Sa bass head definitely kulang to. Yung mids niya malinis, open. Maganda yung details ng mids niya. Napaka-vivid. Expected na rin yun sa price na to. Actually 12,000 pesos eh. Of course, mag-expect ka ng detail talaga yung mids. Wala siyang sibilance, wala siyang harshness, wala siyang peaks. Tapos at the same time, hindi rin rolled off yung upper mids niya. Forward yung vocal. So maganda yung pagkakatono ng KB-ear dito. Siguro dito napunta yung budget ng KB-ear na dapat dun sa quality ng accessories. Napunta fully sa tunog talaga. And dun sa quality ng resin na ginamit dito. Okay? Now, sa treble, yung treble naman, hindi siya kulang. Well extended siya actually. Airy pa nga eh. But at the same time kasi, mas ramdam ko or mas rinig ko na forward yung upper mids kaysa sa treble. Oo. Pero yun nga, hindi siya rolled off eh. Para sa akin. Sakto lang actually. Wala rin siyang sibilance, wala rin siyang peaks or harshness. Walang ganun. Okay. Sa technical chops, ayun, hindi siya yung pinakamalawak na narinig ko. Pero hindi rin naman siya masikip. Actually, malayo siya sa pagiging masikip sa soundstage. Matangkad pa nga yung soundstage nito eh, na malalim din, medyo malalim. Oo. Yung separation and layering niya, malinis. Wala kang magiging problema dito. Maganda yung pagkaka-layer sa kanya. Yung imaging din, wala rin magiging problema dito. Kahit sa movies mo gamitin, sa games, ganun. Pero expected na kasi yun kasi 12,000 pesos to eh. Dapat wala ka talaga magiging problema sa mga ganung bagay-bagay. Kung ayun talaga yung target mo. So, ayun yung masasabi ko dito, may re-recommend ko siya sa mga taong mahilig sa vocals and willing gumastos ng under 13,000 pesos. Kasi bihira yung sets na alam mo yun parang ito talaga yung tuning nito, forward yung vocals. Ito yung unique tuning nito, forward yung vocals, ito talaga yung pinunta mo dito. So kung ganun kang type ng tao and yun yung preferred mo, kung gusto mong present talaga yung vocals, na maganda talaga yung vocals, as in may times talaga sobrang mesmerizing ng vocals niya. Like for example, nung pinakinggan ko yung kay Chapel Roan, yung Pink Pony Club, alam mo talaga yung emotion dito. Para sa akin lang naman medyo na-visualize ko and na-imagine ko yung nung suot ko to, nung pinakinggan ko yun, gamit to, yung Pink Pony Club, gamit to, maganda talaga yung vocals niya. Powerful yung vocals. So, ayun, kung vocals lover ka or mahilig ka sa mids, kahit na hindi mid-centric to, marirecommend ko yung KB-ear Cepheus sa under 13,000 pesos. Okay? So, balik na ako sa English for my verdict. Okay. So, what's my verdict with the KB-ear Cepheus KB16? Definitely, I'd recommend this for someone who prefers their vocals forward, sweet, airy, detailed. Yes, this isn't a mid-centric set. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, they really did well on the tuning on this one on the mids. It isn't in your face. It isn't really in intimate in your ears. But at the same time, it has that forward airy vocals to it, which I really love and really prefer most of the time. So, if you're like me who prefers their vocals very present or very detailed or very clean, if you like mids with a decent or above average technical chops, well, the KB-ear Cepheus will be one of my top recommendations if you're willing to shell out under $300 for your IEM. But then again, if of course, this isn't really perfect. Like for example, the accessories on this one is subpar for its asking price. So if you're a very nitpicky person but you still want the Cepheus, well, by all means, you need to buy a cable on this one as well. Okay, and now that ends my review for the KB-ear Cepheus KB16. Again, I'd like to thank KB-ear or Keep Hi-Fi for sending this unit to me in an exchange for a very honest and transparent review. Rest assured that all of my reviews are honest and transparent to the core like I always do, for the benefit of everybody, of course, including me. Since again and again, I won't be editing this extensively. Okay? Now, as for the backlogs, there are still a lot of backlogs that I am working on. Like, for example, the Kefine Quattro came into the mail yesterday. Also, the Tangerine Vision really came into the mail as well yesterday. So, please do keep an eye on that. And thanks for stopping by and see you on the next one. Isa pa.